Can you smoke a brisket in the bush with nothing but a hole in the ground? The answer is kind of. I went up to Slave Lake, Alberta on a hunting trip with my buddies Mark, Carey, and Jason. Mark and Carey are both Canadian Forces veterans and they run Alberta Premier Outfitters. An amazing hunting operation up there. The plan was simple. I'd get my deer early in the week, then cook the guys a brisket right at camp. Easy, right? Well, things didn't really go according to plan. Here's how it went down. I started by trimming up a full packer brisket, taking off the heavy fat and slicing off the edges. Then I hit it with a good coat of Smoke Trail's barbecue brisket rub. Nice even coverage on all sides. We're keeping this simple, bushcraft style. Then I took the brisket hunting with me. The idea is pretty simple. I dig a hole in the ground, I cover it, and I smoked the brisket with some charcoal and wood. So I scouted out a good spot near camp. The soil was rich, smelled like it would accent the brisket well. Perfect brisket terroir. So I started digging, but the ground was solid clay and I had to get this done so we could go hunting today, so I called in a little backup. A bit later, Carey rolled in with his skid steer and carved out a pit big enough to bury a small car, probably a little bit too big to smoke a brisket, but hey, too big is better than too small, right? Then I dug out the firebox pit and lined it with rocks. That's where the fire and the charcoal and the wood will go. And then I lined the cook chamber pit with rocks and laid down some sticks on it as a kind of makeshift rack for the brisket. And over top, we made a frame of heavy sticks, laid down some heavy-duty aluminum foil, and covered it with dirt and branches for insulation, just like our ancestors did it, with skid steers and heavy-duty aluminum foil. Now, we were out there for a week, and the plan, like I said before, was for me to get my deer first, and then I would smoke the brisket later in the week for the guys. But after a couple days of hunting, Mark and Jason got lucky first. They went to the best spots, dropped their bucks, and scared off every deer in like a 10-mile radius. So in other words, they really screwed me. And so while they were back at camp processing the meat, I was still out there staring at trees. I didn't get anything, but I still had to cook that brisket before the end of the week, so I asked the guys to do it for me, which in retrospect was a huge mistake. On the last day of hunting, it was pitch black in the morning when I got up. I lit the coals with a couple of charcoal starters. So basically an entire bag of charcoal, and then I interspersed some charcoal starters in it. Got the brisket on the stick rack, and then sealed it all up with aluminum foil. And I use the term seal loosely, like as sealed as a screen bottom boat. Then I left it in the capable hands of Mark and Jason, who were already drunk and high at 5 in the morning.
Every day I'm shoveling.
And then I went hunting with Carey. Carey's an ex-military sniper, so he's a really good hunting guide to have. But we still weren't seeing much, again, probably because the other guys scared everything off the day before. Then my phone buzzed.
Just got a message from Mark. Everything is under control, buddy. Brisket's looking great. Nice.
Where's Steve? The barbecue needs him.
And burning garbage works just as good as anything else. Like,
yeah, I don't think Steve knows anything.
Jason,
Is
what
it
are
the
you?
porta potty? Is it this silver foil? Oh man, I gotta go.
Dude, I don't think that's where I'm supposed to go.
That's too late.
Every day I'm shoveling.
Do you look at my shovel technique?
Some pretty deadly shoveling, homie.
My father taught me the shovel technique.
Oh boy.
I'll lift it up and put it down. Oh yeah!
There you go.
I'm a pro. Tell Steve I'm better than you.
Competition rap, bro.
After around 16 hours, it was getting dark and it was time to take the brisket out, but it wasn't quite done.
At all. That is still just a raw slab of meat with dirt on it.
Oh, bummer.
That might be pepper, but it sure looks like dirt to me.
At the end of the day, Mark texted me that the brisket was only at 95 degrees Fahrenheit internal, which means it barely got above room temperature after 16 hours of smoking it. So I texted the boys and I asked them to wrap the brisket up as quickly as you can and then put it in the oven because we're gonna need to cook it real fast to finish it in time. Which they did. They foiled it up and they put it in the oven and set it to around 350 degrees Fahrenheit. 3 hours later, it finally hit around 195 internal, not bad, pretty tender. So I held it overnight at 150 to rest until the next day. And the next morning, it was time for the big reveal. Unwrapping it the next day, it looked pretty good, but the boys had wrapped it fat side down in the foil, which kind of washed out all the bark that it had. Oh well, still looks pretty good, but unfortunately, it was a little bit pot roasty on account of basically being fully cooked in foil in the oven for like 3 hours. So didn't have much smoke flavor. It was kind of pot roasty, didn't have a lot of flavor.
It's kind of bland.
Yeah, I'm not really getting the smoke flavor.
It doesn't have any smoke flavor and it's kind of bland.
Yep, bland, chewy, and not a lot of smoke flavor, but you know what? It was still a good brisket and it was still a good time. So can you cook a brisket in the ground? Maybe you could do things a little bit different than I did in this video, make a smaller pit, maybe a better design, maybe a few less leaks in your underground smoker would help. Still, I had an awesome time hunting with the guys at Alberta Premier Outfitters. If you ever want to hunt with some great people, have some great opportunities to get huge, massive whitetail and mule deer bucks up in Alberta and laugh your face off while you're at it, check them out. In the end, I joked about it a lot in the video, but we had a really good success rate. 2 bucks out of 3 people, that's a 67% success rate, really good. And I could have shot a doe if I really wanted to. We saw tons of doe, but I really wanted to go for a buck. Plus we got to eat brisket, drink beers, hang out and hunt and tell stories. It was a great time overall. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, happy smoking.